It's been 4 seconds so that I can start a new recording. Okay, I'm gonna make this very quick. Skip like a minute, don't look into the sauce. I have to go get something to drink. Talking like this actually hurts a lot. I return with 3 bottles of water. One for each video to make sure I stay hydrated. Okay, but yeah, so I just read a lot. I'm trying to think what else to do. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can talk to myself for a very, very, very long time, and I have before, hours at a time, if something really gets me going. But doing it in such a way that's a semi-conscious stream of thought for a decently extended period of time, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard. Right? I'm not that old. Right? I don't have the anecdotes to back up years of experience. But one thing I do have is I read a lot. So I expect literally 90% of solo discussion to be about reading, and the other 10% being dude, the YouTube thing is about as easy and hard as I thought it would be. Especially considering I'm not looking to this for revenue. I'm looking to this so that, enhances my general experiences with the world. Sorry. Have to keep hydrated. Bad for the throat. But yeah, no. It's just there's only so much I can talk about. But yeah, I have a couple different things lined up to read. I line things up to read. But I took a break per se off of reading Ruby things for probably about a month to 3 months. Besides no caps, the smite. I'm always up to date on the Ruby smite. Let no one tell you otherwise. Right? And so, I have a list of things I need catch up on and read. And there's things I've seen before and just never connected. Oh, this might be a good read. Because for a long time I was reading a bunch of I read a lot of lit RPG stuff. If it's not a Ruby fanfic or smut of some variety, it's probably a lit RPG. For those who don't know, they're literary RPGs. They're basically, here's a book of someone, with stats. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of about. If you've not noticed, I'm a little bit of an avid gamer. If it has, gaming aspects in it, I'm not gonna lie, you've hooked me. You hit me with the thresh hook from across the way, dude. Just drag me in, take my soul while you're at it. You might as well. But I read a lot of lit RPGs. Both ones are free on Kindle Unlimited. I read a couple that aren't free. I've read a bunch on Royal Road. I've read a bunch of the translated Chinese, Japanese, Russian one. And it's probably, I don't read anything else anymore. I read regular fantasy books on rare occasion now. Because don't get me wrong, regular fantasy, I read it for the longest time. Will always hold a special place deep in the soul, right? Because it's plugged out of its mind. Just, it's as simple as that. It's regular fantasy. It's the classic take me away to another world where I can have a better time, right? Because my life's not been hard per se, but I'm an introvert, not by choice, but it was effectively by choice, right? And I take it to a weird extreme. Right, and so I was always dude, just take me to someone else that has 4 people along with them and they're living life large. Right? And I read it all the time. I've read so many fantasy books, I don't even know all of them. Right? And, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. They're the classic fantasy books. Like, once again, like, either really, like, good or, like, disgustingly edgy character. Like, main character that, like, becomes a better person while still retaining that edge. Right? Like, I've read them since, like, the beginning of my existence. Like I said earlier, reading's, like, probably is the corest part of who I am as you can get. It's literally, like, 90% of what I do. Like, I watch YouTube while thinking about reading. I read while thinking about reading. Like, it's wild. But yeah, and it's just like, I read a lot. And so I've read so many fantasy books that I don't know what half of them are called anymore. Right? But these lit RPG books is like, I read some of the sci-fi ones. I don't like them as much usually. But the fantasy lit RPG ones, like, worlds collapse, this one dude gets a little lucky at the beginning, he starts cooking himself up something huge. It's the perfect degree of spice. Right? It keeps you guessing, the stats keep my mind running on what he can do with them. I'm like, this skill level, whatever. Dude, this equipment with this skill will just ascend you to the 74th dimension of Zon. Like, and it gets me pogged out of my mind. Because I'm always, anytime you give me a stat screen, you will see me analyze that shit top to bottom. Like, every single thing, I'll be looking for the build that will send them through the stratosphere. Right? I'm not gonna lie, that build is often regen based. Regen builds are quite possibly just the greatest thing that has ever existed for mankind. Right? At least in, like, a RPG setting. But let's think of it this way. If you have, I'm not gonna hit them with the big numbers, and I'll hit them with, like, this, a more realistic one. The numbers are a little smaller. Well, the power is still, like, behind them. Let's say you have, like, 2,000 health. Fairly reasonable, you know, not too ridiculously strong. Right? Let's say for, like, you know, like, the standard rate's like, oh, 1% of your health per hour. Right? That's 20 health an hour. That's about 1 health every 3 minutes. Now, what if instead, right, you get yourself some decent armor, so nothing's, like, viable to one-shot you out of existence. Then you pump your regen stat. Well, now you're sitting here with a little bit of sauce, aren't you? Because now you're healing, let's say, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, a more reasonable number. Say 15. Let's say, like, you hard invested, you have stats and other things, but you have, like, something that burns a resource, preferably health in this instance, that will, like, buff other things, right? Lets you, like, limit break, per se. Burns health in exchange for doing some more damage. Right? More damage, get more strength, get more dexterity, but, you know, like that. Well, now, you're treating health as more as a resource. Let's say you gain 15 an hour, you're sitting at, let's say, 400 health. Well, now, you're starting to you're getting somewhere. You're sitting at 60 health, and you're sitting at 60 health an hour, which is a health a minute. Right? And most things with, like, stats that low, you're probably looking at, like, a solid, like, just, like, a generally, like, solid maneuver. Right? It's just, like, you're just looking at some smaller numbers for, like, skill usage. Probably looking at, like, anywhere between 5 and 10. Right? And it's, like, that's not even, like, when you take those numbers to extreme when you're not using percent-based thing, right? When you're hitting them with, like, hard, flat number bonuses, with some more, like, stacking effects, maybe you get an ability that lets you regen faster. You know, get something that gives you a little bit more sauce in that regen, maybe switches it to a more base rate. Well, now you're working with plasma, right? You're not even working with thunder, you're not working with lightning, you're not working with a little bit of fire. Now you're working with plasma. Because now you're working off like a health generator, right? Or even if you find some way to, like, blood magic, I'm all for blood magic, dude. Like, if you find some way to transfer your mana to HP, it sends your durability through the roof, because mana is usually a much easier resource to generate, right? Now you're switching between both of them. You have slight control of the enemy. You're siphoning, you're draining them of stuff while you're going up. Because it's just a numbers game. Right? Because the minute you make it like stat based, depending on the system obviously, but now you're working with numbers. Now it's a numbers game. Anytime you siphon health, their health goes down and yours goes up, you're winning that numbers game. Right? They hit you, but you hit them a little harder. That's a number game. You wear them down, you win. Right? And it's like, I always love the regen build. You give it just a little bit of sauce. Right? And then it always takes me back to like the question, what build would I be running? Right? And it's like, well, that depends on when you catch me, dude. Because sometimes I'll be looking at a protagonist beating 7 miles away. They shot an arrow like a 50 caliber sniper round. Boof! Right through the back of the head. Sometimes you'll be catching me on that ranger vibe. Like just pogged out of their gore, 2 blades out, bow on the back. Always just a stellar time. Right? Sometimes, dude, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Some of these people be brawling, no cap. It is lit straight up. It is constitution, strength. Like, constitution, strength. Here's a little bit of sauce into dexterity, and they're gone. They're off to the races, throwing punches like 50 caliber sniper rounds. They're decking someone with an actual 50-ton atomic bomb. You know what I mean? It's just like, it provides the sauce. And sometimes I be looking at some mages and I'm like, dude, give me a little bit more physicality. I don't like mages a lot. No capital. Would you give me a little physicality in there, dude? I'm off to the races. You pogged me out of my brainstem, dude. It's not even a question no more. Like, you throwing a sword, you hit me with a couple enchanting, dude? Oh. You'll see me pog out of my gourd for enchanting. Sometimes, dude, sometimes a good spell sword is all you need. Like, I will give you the sauce on a spell sword, dude. Give me the spell sword, dude. I'm just mad. Get him. Dude, are none of you going to help me? I'm actually, you've tilted me. Nigga, you really sat there and typed 380C. Nignog. 380C. Now you shoot him when he's not. I'm mad. No capital? Yeah, you've enraged me. Get fucked. Sorry, my team actually has me tilted out of my gourd. No capital. Right, but anyway. Yeah, no. I'll go on and on. Because it also depends if I'm in a team. Because I'll be the first one. You by yourself, you run that balance build. No cap. There's no other option, brother. Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was going to flash ignite him and then Ash actually got the option. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised. Pretty near ending. No cap. No, like zero cap. Sorry, I just had a dueling Barbie real quick. We're all dead as hell. Not even gonna lie to you. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't mad. %5 extra damage, 15% less effective heal. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't angry. Like, I understand, but I'm mad about it. Especially when compared to some of these characters. Sorry, I'm like using my brain. But yeah, but like now, if you're by yourself, you run everything. No matter where you are, whatever system, whatever like sauce caps you, you get 3 things. you get a primary, like, mastery stat. You get something that's giving you a little, like, experience, a little fighting sauce. Why'd you stand there? You just let yourself get executed. No cop. Right? You give yourself a little bit of fighting sauce. You get some sort of weapon mastery skill. You get yourself a little something to get you off to the races. Right? You get something for the health. You know, you're not out here surviving by ourselves just because we live life large. You know, like you need a little sauce if you want to live. Right? Then you get yourself like a good movement ability, like a good high damage, not high damage. I'm bad. I'm mad. I'm upset. You're bad. But you get yourself like a good like movement sort of ability. You have to get yourself something to get you around. Like there's there's so many like different things, but like when you're by yourself, dude, you run the balance stats. Anyone tells you otherwise, they're looking for you to die. Like I'm not even lying. It's actually like my sincere thoughts on that. It's like you run the balance build and you make it your own. You run every stats effectively equal if you can. You specialize if like you get that freedom or if possible, but like it's usually just not like no cap. Like usually you don't have the information necessary to specialize properly, and you have to take what you have, which is like in this case everything. Like you have to value everything a certain level of equal. Good flash. Brand, I'll give Brand that as a good flash. Not even gonna lie, Caitlyn, look, half of them do that. Training your hopefully goes off. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just upset. Dude, I even forced Karthus to tank it for me. The tower shot was still coming. But yeah, and it's just like it's truly like you need a little bit of that sauce to keep you up and going. But I don't know. It's just like it always depends on the situation, depends on like the scenario. But it's one of my like absolute favorite things like thought through. Like if I ever got put in that scenario, dude, you see me like get the basic bare necessities down, and you start theorying. You start running the cerebral cortex at maximum efficiency. Because if you don't, you die. And it's like, sometimes those be the simple facts. Usually, it's usually that simple. It's like, run that math, like, do your damnedest to figure out how you're gonna go about this so that you don't die. And it's like, shit, dude, that's something. I didn't want you to say that to me, but shit, dude, you got a point. Like, and sometimes you can't deny that stuff. Honestly, I didn't notice I took aftershock. I'm fine with it. Yeah, no. It's just like a good. It's always a good thought experiment. Good for the brain. Good for the cerebral. Keeps them working at like maximum efficiency. I say like they're ever truly working at maximum efficiency. I'm so tired. 90% of the time, like the brain's working on nothing. You'd think this shit was just a rusty like pad. I don't know. I'm not. I don't do cars. It's rusty, dude. Like, it has the sauce required to function, but not much else. I should have done it better. Not even who I want to. Motherfucker. Hits me every time. My own damn fault, but... I was gonna die behind Ash for that. I was too slow, plus I realized that's not. Dude, Soraka's a... Oh no, Soraka! That shit killed you! Let's go. Oh, no, you're both rat bastard. Oh, I got it. Let's go. Oh. Sorry. I should be talking. I'm really trying to like dig through the cerebral for something to talk. I've already talked about like probably the singular topic I have any legitimate passion for in the world. Which is like, at least when I don't have something in specific, like I have like a problem with reading. Like I had a problem reading. Ah. Ah. Dude, it got me good. No cap, not even. I was a stellar in the music. Yeah, no. Ugh. The bones hurt. I'm trying to think of the fact that my computer is going to be running simulator. Trying just not to think of it. Sorry, the cerebral. Honestly, team's trying as hard as they can. Ash is pogged out of record. Know who I'm putting my E's on. He hit that. Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. I didn't mean to do it. Luckily, Ash got some sauce off of that. I did that very poorly. I could have done better. But Ash gave him the sauce. Okay. When Ash dies again, we'll be sitting pretty. Yeah, I know. It's just, it's a wild ride. You know what I mean? I have 2 more of these shits to record, dude. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Also, if you hear any weird noises, they're probably me not eating, but chewing on a bottle cap.
Shut down.
I'm just trying to think. One thing too, cerebral cortex. Honestly, it being ARAM makes that a respectable movie. Like, not as a person, but as like an actual play. It went to the wrong person. I'm actually livid. It bounced to the wrong person. It's supposed to bounce to Brain. It's supposed to bounce to Nidalee and then Brain. Because Brain was in alt. Or not alt. Fucking Ignite. You know? Happens though. Ash is going in sicko mode. Oh, he's probably, yeah, he's probably getting shit beat by Varus. Oh, is he gonna turn? Oh no. Varus is under tower. If he wasn't, I would have told him to turn, unless he was a coward. But yeah, no. It's a wild time. Game's good though. Dude, I was very good about playing more games for a while. And then I stopped. Like with everything going on, I've been meaning to again. Cause I stopped when all of this started going on. But a lot of games I were playing, like games on like PS4. I play like at home, but I play a lot more when I'm at my dad's house. Brother, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I try to get him. I missed. Actually, I'm just like. I have no mana for this, dude. That was a good game. We really got Ash popping off there. You have to give Ash the honor for that one. Okay, I got 2 more games to play before I call it a night, so let's hope I have a little bit more conversation for those. I'm gonna use the bathroom so I can read a little bit, maybe draw some inspiration for a topic. Talk to y'all later. In like 5 minutes, so I'm done using the bathroom.